Stopping at 11, a violent end to Whitey Bulger's life of crime.
I would hope they were thinking about me when they were murdering him, me and the victims' families.
The infamous mob boss killed in prison.
We have some breaking news here. James Whitey Bulger is dead.
From the families of the mobster's victims.
He doesn't deserve a good, quiet, happy death. He deserves a horrible death.
To Bulger's family.
I heard he wasn't feeling good a while back, that's why.
Live team coverage on the newest information into the killing of Whitey Bulger starts now.
The notorious mobster was found dead in his cell this morning. Good evening, everyone. I'm Shannon Malaire.
And I'm Phil Lipoff. Tonight, we are live with team coverage for you, from reaction to those impacted by Bulger's violent past to the latest on the investigation into how he was killed.
We start with our Perry Russum, who joins us live outside the federal courthouse in the Seaport. And Perry, what details do we know at this point from the West Virginia prison?
Yeah, Whitey Bulger was an inmate in that prison for just one night. He moved in there yesterday. Hours later, he was killed. At 8:20 in the morning, James Whitey Bulger was found unresponsive in his cell at the Hazleton prison in West Virginia. The Federal Bureau of Prisons says responding staff tried to save him, but it was too late. The former leader of the Winter Hill Gang had been an inmate at the high-security prison for one night. He was transferred there Monday, found dead Tuesday. NBC News reports investigators are looking into whether Bulger was beaten by one or more inmates. According to the New York Times, one prison employee, under the condition of anonymity, said the inmates involved were thought to be affiliated with the mob. After being on the run for years, the 89-year-old was serving a life sentence, convicted of gangland crimes and having a hand in 11 murders. Bulger had been moved around to different prisons throughout the country, recently Florida, Oklahoma, and then West Virginia, where Boston's notorious mob leader, a man who ruled with fear, money, and murder, was killed. And it's still not clear who was involved in his death or how they got to him. The FBI is investigating. Live at the federal courthouse, Perry Russum, NBC 10 Boston.
Perry, thank you. In 2013, Bulger was convicted of 11 murders, but it's believed that he was connected to up to 19. New tonight, we're hearing from some family members of some of those victims. NBC 10's Malcolm Johnson live in South Boston tonight. And Malcolm, I understand you spoke with families of 2 victims. What was their tone when talking about this?
Well, family members of Bulger's victims tell us today came with a ton of different emotions, among them joy in knowing that the former South Boston mobster is no longer alive.
It's going to make me happy over the years, knowing for the rest of eternity he's going to get a pitchfork in the from the devil himself.
Not mincing words, Tommy Donahue happy that the man who murdered his father is now dead.
No, it might be cold, but I'm very pleased that somebody ended up getting to him and killing him.
Bulger, according to reports, was beaten to death Tuesday in a West Virginia prison by inmates. Murdered Michael Donahue in 1982. Michael's widow, Patricia Donahue.
I think it's great. Myself, I like to open up a champagne bottle and celebrate.
The Donahues, one of many families, pleased with Bulger's passing.
I look at my phone, and I got all these friends just congratulations.
Steve Davis's sister, Deborah, died at 26.
My sister didn't deserve it. Not like that.
Bulger went on trial for murdering Davis. The South Boston mobster was never convicted of her killing. Bulger's death helps ease the pain, but doesn't heal the wound.
There's never going to be closure to the heart of the victims and the families. It's never going to be closure to. We lost something you can't get back.
And family members tell us that they hope whoever killed Bulger in prison was thinking of the victims and their family members. We're reporting live in Southie tonight. I'm Malcolm Johnson, NBC 10 Boston.
Malcolm, thank you. It is certainly no secret Bulger was one of the most infamous criminals in the country. This brief history only shows just a few points from the leader of the Winter Hill Gang's life. NBC 10 Boston investigator Karen Hensel takes a closer look at his life of crime.
It was June 22nd, 2011. Phones rang in the night. America's most wanted fugitive was in custody. Whitey Bulger. For years, we'd seen photos. James Joseph Bulger Jr. wanted notices for accused crimes. Heard that voice on wiretaps. Would they ever catch him? Was he even alive? Then there appeared an old man in orange jail garb, uttering a few barely audible words at his Boston arraignment. The legendary Irish mob boss, the murderous mastermind who corrupted the Boston FBI, returned to face justice. Early mugshots suggest a sullen hoodlum born James Joseph Bulger Jr. The teenage Whitey Bulger led street gangs, got into trouble, joined bank robberies, wound up in Alcatraz, and through good behavior back in Boston a decade later, landing a job as a Suffolk Superior Court janitor with the help of brother Billy, by then a Beacon Hill politician. But he was also back working the streets of South Boston. The bar, Triple O's, his South Boston criminal headquarters. Bulger teamed up with Winter Hill associate Stephen Flemmi, and unknown to their underworld cohorts, became top echelon FBI informants with the help of John Connolly, the agent in charge of the Boston FBI office.
I mean, we had a business relationship. I won't deny that I had a warm spot for the guy. I've said it all along.
Connolly insisted the pair helped infiltrate Boston's Italian mafia, but they were killing people too, including Flemmi's girlfriend and own stepdaughter. All murdered while Connolly sheltered the criminal pair. But in January 1994, Bulger and Flemmi were finally indicted. Flemmi was quickly arrested. Bulger, tipped off by Connolly, fled with girlfriend Catherine Gregg, and quickly became star fugitives, with reported sightings in Louisiana, Florida, London, California.
We have captured one of the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives.
At a Santa Monica condo, an arsenal of guns, and $800,000 of cash stuffed into the wall.
In the Old Harbor housing project Whitey Bulger once called home, there used to be a brick with his name, marking his gift of money to help build a courtyard. Someone stole it and replaced it with a blank. Karen Hensel, NBC 10 Boston.
Karen, thank you. Let's get back out to Southie, where Eli Rosenberg is standing by.
So, Eli, a short time ago, Whitey Bulger's brother Billy returned home, and earlier today, reporters spoke to his brother Jackie. What did they say about their brother's death?
Yeah, it's interesting. All these years later, and for the most part, Whitey Bulger's family living in the same homes, including brother Billy, who lives behind me here in South Boston. And for the most part, the family has avoided talking to the media, a trend that continued with Whitey's murder.
Hi, is Jean here? Yeah. What's this? Eli. Oh, no. See ya. Nothing?
Whitey Bulger's sister not talking Tuesday. And his brother, longtime state Senate President Billy Bulger, running into the family home in South Boston.
I'll be in touch.
A third sibling with little to say.
Can you tell us
I don't know. I don't know it.
You know the reports about your brother, right?
I don't.
Hours after news of Bulger's death, little family reaction in the South Boston neighborhood where he once ruled.
I have no idea. That's the first I heard of it. I heard he wasn't feeling good a while back.
Equally quiet, the family of Catherine Craig. Craig, Bulger's longtime girlfriend, also in prison, convicted of helping him run from authorities for more than 16 years.
Okay, thank you.
A longtime lawyer for the Craig family, checking on Catherine's twin sister as news of Bulger's murder spread.
Like anybody that, a loved one, you obviously want to know what the specifics were and the cause of death. So it wouldn't be any different in this case.
As a family that for decades said little, keeps to the script.
I don't have anything to say right now. Talk to you.
So there has been little movement out here. One thing that did happen was a man did come up. He placed a card in the mailbox right there and he left. He didn't really want to talk either, as how the family feels about Whitey Bulger's murder remains a mystery tonight. Live in South Boston, Eli Rosenberg, NBC 10 Boston.
All right, Eli, thank you. And we are working round the clock to bring you any new information on the death of Whitey Bulger. For breaking news at your fingertips, download the free NBC 10 Boston app. All of our coverage is right there on the home screen.
Happening now, the countdown to the Parade of Champions.
It is Parade Eve, the night before Boston celebrates another World Series championship. I'm Chris. I'm at Fenway Park with the preparations for the rolling rally.
And Chris, the weather looks perfect for the rally. 47 degrees under sunny skies. The rest of the parade forecast, your trick-or-treat forecast, and the exclusive 10-day all coming up in your early morning forecast.
That is me, but that's not me in that situation.
New Hampshire lawmaker facing serious charges for what he allegedly did on the set of an adult film. The details next.
And the secret to countering peanut allergies may be found in your bathroom. NBC 10 Boston tonight, back in 60 seconds. Here's some breaking news to bring to you right now out of Mattapoisett. A shelter-in-place order for an entire neighborhood there as police search for a suspect who we're told could be armed. Officers are searching for a male suspect near Acushnet Road. The call coming in around 7:20 and triggering a large response from local police, state troopers, and the State Police Air Wing.
Tonight, the duck boats are ready. Celebrations are over. And now, we're only hours away from the Red Sox rolling through the streets in style. So, let's get this party started ahead of tomorrow's Parade of Champions.
Will there be more singing? I don't know. We're just hours away now from the Parade of Champions, and the final preparations are being made, including the barricades that are going up along the parade route. Our cameras capturing crews working diligently outside City Hall a short time ago.
So tomorrow morning, hundreds of thousands of Red Sox fans will be lining the route through the city. NBC 10's Chris Emma live outside Fenway Park tonight with more. Chris, doesn't get much better than this.
Phil and Shannon, I'll tell you what, there's been a steady stream of people all night going to take pictures of the 2018 banner that's just outside right here at Fenway Park, but it is nothing compared to what it's going to be like tomorrow morning for the Parade of Champions. Here come the duck boats. For the 11th time since 2002, Boston will be hosting a championship parade. Workers putting the final touches on the duck boats.
Getting the platforms, as I said, the staging ready, so the players have a great view of the crowd and the crowds have a great view of the players.
Starting at 11 a.m. Wednesday morning, the Sox will travel from Fenway Park to Government Center on the famed duck boats.
The first one was after the Patriots in 2002. Mayor Menino wanted to have a rolling rally through the streets of Boston so that more folks could enjoy it. And ever since then, Boston Duck Tours has been part of all the championships.
Duck boats are getting ready, and so are the businesses on Boylston Street. Or a Pizza serving World Series sliders starting at 9 a.m. and themed cocktails next door at the Charles Mark Hotel.
The Grand Slam is Grand Marnier. The JD Martini is Jack Daniels.
And of course, the parade is happening on Halloween. Dorothy's Costume Boutique, they're ready as well.
It doesn't have to be baseball inspired. It could be just costume inspired.
Despite it being Halloween, Boston police say costumes are okay, but no replica weapons of any kind. Also, no public drinking, no climbing lampposts or utility poles.
Act like you have some sense.
And Mayor Walsh has been pleading with everyone to treat the city with respect during the parade. Now, as for the parade, as of right now, Boston police say there are no credible threats for tomorrow. Reporting live from Fenway, I'm Chris Emma, NBC 10 Boston.
I have four of a kind. I have four of a.
I have a royal flush.
How about that? We all know Xander Bogaerts can deliver big hits, but did you know he also delivers packages? The X-Man himself delivering Fanatics gear to fans in Boston today. Fans already looking for a big surprise in the mail, getting a much bigger surprise from the mailman.
Coolest thing ever. If you are not a fan of crowds, however, don't worry, we have you covered. Our live coverage begins at 9 tomorrow morning. The parade gets underway at 11.
All right, still to come, Chris, with a full look at tomorrow's parade and also Halloween forecast.
Yeah, you know, I was there in 2004, and the weather is going to be exactly the same. And I remember it because they didn't win forever, so it was an easy day to remember.
Everyone remembers where they were, right?
And the weather's going to be pretty chilly, but very sunny. A little more on that.
Sounds good. Also new at 11.
This is going to be encapsulated and frozen, tasteless and odorless.
How an experimental treatment made from something inside you may help people with peanut allergies. We're back in a moment.
Welcome back, everyone. We are just under 12 hours now until the parade. We are, because we need to sleep.
That's true.
To the parade here in Boston. It's exciting.
It's funny to think about. Last time we were at one of these parades, and it's so obnoxious to say that. The last one of these parades we were at, Patriots parade a couple years ago, pretty cold and raining. Tomorrow, Chris, not so much.
No, I mean, it's a little chilly, but with body heat, it won't be too bad. 55 degrees, I think, is close to our high, somewhere maybe between 55 and 60. 11 a.m. 47 when the rolling rally kicks off. 8 o'clock in the morning. It is quite chilly. 40 degrees the temperature as you are lining up and waiting. Trick-or-treating also happening tomorrow. It is Halloween. Temperatures at 6 around 54 degrees. Down to 51 at 8 o'clock, so the kids really don't need any rain gear or heavy jackets to cover up the costumes. Always some good news. 42 right now. The wind chill's at 38. Once the wind drops off completely, our temps go down to the 30s. There is some rain going from St. Louis all the way up to the thumb of Michigan. That's our system that's moving in by Wednesday night and Thursday. Our exclusive network of weather underground sites showing the 20s already popping up in a few towns. Most everyone else around freezing. Norwood at 32, Wellesley at 30, same for Woburn. Up towards Reading, it's 32 degrees, mid-30s across the South Shore. And out to the Cape, it's still into the 40s from Provincetown to Chatham. Overnight lows, widespread 20s and 30s under starlit skies. A lot of sun tomorrow, up near 60 degrees. Most of the day, though, spent in the 50s. Big temperature range on Thursday with that warm front. 50s to the northeast, and we got 60s to the southeast. So it's a big spread. Warm front lifting in. This one I'm not too concerned about. It will likely spark some showers Wednesday night into Thursday morning. But then Thursday night going into Friday, we have another warm front lifting in, and this looks very similar to the ones that produced our water spouts and tornadoes this past Monday, the Tuesday before that. It is concerning, and there are a lot of similarities. And it also brings some heavy rain, I think, as well. And then Friday, another round of heavy rain, and then Saturday, another round of heavy rain. When you tally it up, this is what we're thinking. Widespread 1 to 3 inches of water coming our way. A lot of rivers and streams running pretty high, too. There could be some flooding issues. Good news is we salvaged the second half of the weekend. Looks great. So we get that bonus hour of sleep. Sunday's gorgeous for the Packer-Patriots game. 55 for a high. Rain returns the following week. High probabilities of rain, but so do the 60s. So kind of a warm start to November.
All right, Chris, thank you. New tonight, town officials in Reading are coming together, speaking out against recent acts of vandalism. Yesterday, Reading Memorial High School was defaced with swastikas along with an anti-LGBTQ message. In the wake of the tragedy in Pittsburgh, officials say that they're taking the investigation into the vandalism seriously. Swastikas also found at Manchester's Wagner Memorial Park. They were found spray painted on the gazebo over the weekend. Manchester Mayor Joyce Craig releasing a statement after the incident, saying symbols of hate have no place in the community, adding that the police are working to remove the vandalism.
Meantime, President Trump and the First Lady were in Pittsburgh today laying flowers and stones at the memorial for 11 people killed in that synagogue shooting. He was accompanied by the synagogue's rabbi, but not everyone was happy to see him there. Protesters and other Jewish leaders saying President Trump targets immigrants and minorities with his rhetoric, but the rabbi of Tree of Life Synagogue says it was important for the president to be there. And in Decision 2018, the president is now turning up the heat on the immigration debate, saying he will use executive power to end birthright. That is the ability of a non-citizen to have a child here who will then be a citizen. Constitution experts say that is just not possible since the right is explicitly included in the 14th Amendment. Now, Massachusetts Democrats are starting to push back. Congressman Joe Kennedy saying the president is simply trying to distract attention from the issues before the election.
They know that they're losing the messaging on the actual real issues that matter, on your health care, on an economy that's actually working for everybody, on issues that are affecting families across this country.
Some Republicans are also weighing in. House Speaker Paul Ryan saying you cannot end birthright citizenship with an executive order.
A New Hampshire state representative accused of starring in an adult film and assaulting the producer because he was apparently unhappy with the final product. This is video sent to us by the plaintiff's attorney, allegedly showing Frank Saporetto at the beginning of an adult film. Saporetto claims the video has been altered and that he's being extorted after making a bad business deal.
He wants more money. And since I wouldn't pay him now, he says he just tried to look, he's following through on it.
Saporetto says the video and screenshots are all photoshopped and that he never assaulted anyone. He plans to get a lawyer and sue the man he believes is behind this. In today's wellness report, could pills made from fecal matter someday make peanut allergies a thing of the past?
So researchers at Boston Children's Hospital are working to that end. Our health reporter Christy Lee tells us about a pretty unique clinical trial.
Could what happens in here help people allergic to peanuts? A clinical trial at Boston Children's Hospital is testing it out on a small group of adults using basically a poop pill.
The thing that I want to emphasize is that this is going to be encapsulated and frozen, tasteless and odorless.
So think of it more as medicine and less as gross. The idea of the fecal transplant is to use gut bacteria to reverse allergies.
When they took the stools of healthy mice that are very resistant to allergy and they put them into the mouse that is allergy prone, this actually protected from the allergic response.
Allergies to peanuts and tree nuts account for 90% of all fatal or near-fatal allergic reactions, and only 15 to 20% of children eventually outgrow them. Right now, oral immunotherapy has shown promise. 18-year-old Carolyn Grady of Westwood was severely allergic.
It was a little scary because my entire life I was told I would go into anaphylactic shock if I had peanuts.
But as part of a clinical study, she was given peanuts in gradually increasing amounts over time, and her body eventually built up tolerance. Now, not only can she eat peanuts, she actually has to.
Well, as of right now, I have to eat peanuts every other day, and they don't know when that will stop.
The desensitization method is not a cure, and the long-term success is unknown. Researchers hope these pills will be the next best thing and could have longer-lasting effects.
It is used in other diseases. It has been shown to be safe overall, so why not try it?
Fecal transplants have worked for those with inflammatory bowel diseases like Crohn's. Now, this stool study on peanut allergies in adults is expected to be finished sometime next year. Christy Lee, NBC 10 Boston.
Christy, thank you. They say you never want to follow kids and dogs. But I don't know what this is about. Now Raul has to follow that.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about?
Thank you for that.
Right, well, welcome to the test
now.
All right.
Anyway.
This is up next. Raul's here. We got Red Sox, we got Patriots.
We do. Before tomorrow's parade, the world champs, look, they lock up a big name, so that's important. And the Pats down another defender as we get set for the Packers. And we haven't forgotten about the Bruins and Celtics, okay? They're still on our radar. We have action from both Boston teams with the C's at home and the B's on the road. Sports is next. All right, so much is happening. The Red Sox winning the World Series. I don't know if you know this. The Patriots have won 5 in a row. We'll get to them in a moment. We have to talk about other teams who could be making championship runs this summer. First, the Celtics, who are home tonight against a team they just beat in Detroit. I have to show you this. This is cool. Kyrie Irving, a lot better than the Pistons. At least 3 of them right here. Woo! Look at the kiss off the glass. Oh, Kyrie looked good today. Al Horford had some rim-rocking dunks. This one got the garden off their feet. Celtics up 4. We go to the third. Here goes Kyrie again, showing off the range. Season high 31 for the Irving, including new fresh and so clean hairdo. It's a 4-point game. Jaylen Brown. Big bucket from 7. He had 14. Pistons cut it to 3, though. Have a chance to tie, but bad pass. Marcus Smart steals it. Kyrie Irving, he's there too. Celtics win 108-105. They'll host the Bucks November 1st. Kyrie starting to look good. Is it the new do?
Kyrie. It was a great afro. You know, I'm happy I did it. Now it's time to, you know, get back to, you know, what I'm used to, just having a low haircut. No, not so much maintenance, you know. I have to get out of the shower and freaking dry my hair all the time. You know? So I feel for you women as well as guys that have a lot of hair, but that wasn't for me.
Haircut sound bites, just for you. The Bruins on the road in Carolina. That's Torrey Krug, healthy, playing in his first game this season. We're tied at 1. Former Bruin Dougie Hamilton. Love the name Dougie. The Rip, Hurricanes go on top, 2-1. But here comes Boston, Patrice Bergeron, Brad Marchand. And the little guy finishes it off on the power play, too. We are tied. And how about Bergeron to Marchand one more time? Sweet wraparound. Butter, baby. No licking here. Bruins get it done. They beat the Hurricanes 3-2. Hey, the Red Sox will be partying tomorrow. They'll probably be partying for a few weeks, but tomorrow they'll be living it up with a few 100,000 of their friends. And NBC 10 Boston has you taken care of, partnering with NBC Sports Boston. Tune in right here, 9 a.m. for your Parade of Champions coverage. Myself, Shannon Phil, Emma Tran, Merlone, Drellick, Kuznarek, and Tangway, just a few of my friends. But the team is still doing business, picking up Chris Sale's $15 million option for 2019, meaning he's not going anywhere. It's one of the most friendly team contracts in baseball. Big decision for the Red Sox will come next year when their ace's contract is up. Patriots putting Eric Rowe on injured reserve. They got the Packers on Sunday right here on NBC 10 Boston. There's sports. We'll be right back.
All right, getting closer to the parade. What's the parade time forecast?
Very nice. Temperatures into the 40s. Trick-or-treating looks nice. Sunday looks nice for the Packers-Patriots game. And then Election Day looks a little soggy, so we'll have to watch that. That's the only other issue.
Yeah, sometimes that does affect things. But no, seriously. But tomorrow is very exciting.
I know.
So
Let's focus on that.
I'm thrilled that that's going to be a nice
bright and early,
day.
huh?
A little chilly. You'll see us there tomorrow, and our coverage begins at 9 a.m. So we hope to see you there.
Look forward to it. A couple
Thanks for
100,000
joining
Red
us.
Sox fans.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Have a good night.